Hello, my dears. Today, the one telling us her story is a woman who was forgotten by the very people she loved the most. And it all happened on her birthday. Left in a nursing home, all alone. With no idea why. But what no one expected is that, just 7 days later, something unbelievable would happen. Something that would change everything. A twist you have to see to believe. Stay with me. Because this story is going to move you deeply. Let's begin.
We've arrived, Mother. Daniel's voice was peculiar, almost unnervingly mellifluous. Claire, my daughter-in-law, offered a sidelong smile, a gesture that failed to engage her eyes. I clutched my handbag, wherein I'd stowed the poetry anthology, the woolen socks, and the lavender vial. I had, moreover, selected my finest blouse for this so-called special weekend. What precisely was the import of this charade? Where are we? This isn't a resort. I inquired, my voice betraying a degree of agitation I hadn't intended. Daniel opened the car door. The frigid air assailed me. I observed a woman in a pristine white uniform drawing nearer. She wore a professional smile, yet her eyes were devoid of effect. It's a clinic, Mother. Place for you to recuperate. He averted his gaze. The ground dissolved beneath my feet. A clinic? Me? Humiliation scorched my cheeks. My 79 years felt doubly burdensome. What? I have no need of a clinic. I am perfectly fine. My voice quavered. Claire approached. It's been arduous, Margot. You're cognizant of that. This is ultimately for your betterment. For my own good? Abandoned. Betrayed. The words reverberated in my mind, icy and incisive. They eased me out of the car. My legs felt weighted, leaden. I entered the building, the scent of disinfectant and decay suffocating me. I was ushered into a diminutive room, its bed exhibiting an almost excessive fastidiousness. My luggage already reposed there, draped over a chair. Daniel and Claire offered a fleeting farewell, their parting words coalescing into a meaningless murmur. They departed. I was alone. The days bled into one another, a monotonous expanse of gray. I navigated the corridors, encountering a parade of vacant visages. The library served as my sole sanctuary. Antiquated tomes, redolent with the scent of mildew, offered solace. One afternoon, my fingertips traced the contours of a weathered spine. It was poems of Emily Dickinson. Irene had gifted me this book decades ago. Our friendship, our secret. I opened the volume, its yellowed pages whispering of time. A tiny crease, almost imperceptible, arrested my gaze. I traced it with the tip of my finger. Something resided there, nestled between pages 57 and 58. A slip of paper. Folded multiple times, it formed a minuscule, almost square packet. My fingers trembled as I unfolded it. It was neither a letter nor a message. It was a lottery ticket, and a small familiar handwriting, nearly effaced by the passage of time. For Margot. With love. Irene. My heart lurched. A lottery ticket? From Irene? Why would she have secreted it away here within this book so long ago? A torrent of questions assailed me. What did this signify? Why would Irene undertake such an action? Did she possess knowledge that eluded me? The ticket appeared aged, though not to the point of utter obliteration. The printed date was barely discernible. I tucked the ticket into the pocket of my robe, the coarse paper chafing against my skin. What was I to make of this? The notion was preposterous, yet curiosity and a flicker of hope ignited within me. What did Irene intend for me to do? The lottery ticket felt like a withered leaf, fragile in my grasp. Yet it harbored a secret, I could sense it. Days elapsed, curiosity gnawing at me. How could I verify it without arousing suspicion? A small television in the common room flickered with sundry news reports. Patients watched motionless. I sat down, feigning indifference, as the winning numbers from weeks prior flashed across the screen. My breath caught in my throat. The eyes scanned the sequence of digits. 1, 2, 3. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frenzied tattoo. That ticket. The numbers. They were identical. Every single one. A jolt, a veritable electric shock, surged through me, so potent that I clutched at the armchair for support. It was real. Irene's lottery ticket was a winner. I slipped out of the room unnoticed, my legs like jelly. What was I to do now? I was trapped, marooned in that place, clutching a slip of paper that represented a fortune. How to redeem the prize? How to escape this gilded cage and claim what was rightfully mine? The weight of helplessness settled upon me. I couldn't trust a single soul within those walls. A plan, tentative at first, began to coalesce. I needed an outside agent, someone in whom I could place my unwavering trust. I recalled Elijah Carter, a former protege of my late husband, a brilliant young man who had always treated me with deference and affection. He was a lawyer now, I knew, but how to contact him? The hallway telephone was monitored. The solution presented itself during one of Dr. Elena's infrequent visits, the chief physician. She possessed a desk phone in her locked office. I would need an opening. The opportunity presented itself during a false fire alarm, a drill of sorts, a moment of orchestrated pandemonium. While everyone was being shepherded outside, I observed Dr. Elena momentarily leave her office door ajar, attending to some unforeseen exigency. It was a fleeting instant. I broke from the throng, slipped into the office, and seized the telephone. My fingers trembled as I dialed Elijah's number. Each second stretched into an epoch. Hello? His voice resonated, distant and professional. Elijah, this is Margot Benson. I whispered, my gaze fixed upon the door. There was a hesitation on the other end. Mrs. Benson? Is that truly you? I had heard you were in a clinic. Are you all right? There's no time. I require your assistance. It's exigent. It concerns something I've discovered. Something of paramount importance. My voice, though thick with emotion, remained resolute. Could you possibly visit me? Tomorrow? I must show you something. He demurred for a fleeting instant. Certainly, Mrs. Benson. I shall dispatch a message to confirm the scheduling. I hung up the phone, perspiration beading on my brow. I replaced the receiver, my heart hammering against my ribs. I exited the consulting room, attempting a nonchalant air, mingling with the stream of returning patients. No one seemed to register my departure. I had sown the seed. But would Elijah come? And if he did, would he believe me? What would he make of it when I produced that note? The following morning, the sky was overcast, as it had been for countless days. Yet, something within me had shifted. I sensed an electric charge in the atmosphere, as though the universe itself was holding its breath. I donned my blue blouse, the same one I'd worn on the day of the special weekend, and tucked the lottery ticket into the inner pocket, hastily sewn the previous night. At 10:03 a.m., Elijah entered through the main door. Tall, clad in a somber suit, his expression bore the same gentle gaze I remembered from years ago. My heart clenched. He scanned the room until he found me, and when our eyes met, I knew there was still someone in the world who saw me. Mrs. Benson, he said, giving me a light embrace as if afraid of breaking me. I received your message. I came as quickly as I could. What's happening? I led him to the library. I showed him the ticket, recounted everything from Irene to the numbers on the television. Elijah listened in silence, his eyes fixed on me without interrupting. When I finished, he took the paper with care, as if handling a fragment of history. You know what this means, don't you? He asked, almost in a whisper. That I can start over, I replied. He smiled. And also that a lot of people will try to prevent it. In the days that followed, Elijah moved mountains. He performed the official verification. The ticket was authentic. an unclaimed prize of over $4 million. It had exceeded the legal deadline by a mere 2 weeks. But with Irene's note and additional documents that Elijah procured, he managed to reopen the case on an extraordinary basis. The proceedings progressed silently, far from the ears of Daniel and Claire. On the 21st day, Elijah returned with a folder and a thick envelope. His smile was restrained, like someone carrying a bomb beneath their coat. "It's done. The money is in your name, under a foundation I've established to protect your assets. But there's one more thing." "More?" I asked, feeling my stomach churn. He pulled an official document from the folder, bearing the state seal. "I reviewed the clinic records, and I discovered that your admission was made with a forged signature. Your son and Claire signed in your name. You were placed here by force, based on false statements." Tears welled before I could control them. "And now," I whispered, "now you are free. And if you wish, they will have to answer for it in court." That night, I slept soundly for the first time in weeks. 2 months hence, I sat upon the weathered wooden bench of my newly acquired porch in Northern California. Verdant, authentic pines enveloped the property. A languid cat dozed at my feet. Lavender cascaded from suspended planters. The envelope containing Irene's letter rested upon the table. Beside it, the poetry anthology, now bound in supple, freshly tooled leather. I reopened pages 57 and 58, and for the first time a further revelation dawned. Concealed within the fold of the note, a faded, almost imperceptible line. "For when the world forgets you, and you need to recall who always loved you." Irene knew. She had always known. And in that instant, encircled by liberty, the vibrant recollection of genuine friendship, and the vindication of justice, I smiled, because the end had merely been the genesis. Thus, Margot Benson's Odyssey resonates with an enduring message that even as the world seems to crumble beneath one's feet, dignity and the capacity for resurgence remain inviolate. The pursuit of truth, justice, and self-determination is an ongoing dance, a melody each of us composes with the notes life proffers. And at times, the most profound fulfillment stems not from grand achievements, but from the courage to simply be, to exist fully, at peace with one's choices and the path delineated. The practice of living in its purest essence truly commences now with each new dawn, bearing the wisdom that true freedom resides in the capacity to redefine one's own horizon, no matter how constricted it may appear.